Hello, friends. Today we will start looking at a comprehensive method of finding sherbets for online arbitrage and dropshipping strategies using a variety of paid and free programs and extensions. We will start with general actions that will relate to both of these strategies. This is identifying loyal brands to our account, and we will start by choosing under the Amazon category and looking for promising products for sale.
Это выявление лояльных брендов к нашему аккаунту. Начнем с того, что выберем категорию и подкатегорию Amazon, в которой мы будем искать перспективный для продажи продукт.
As we know, Amazon is careful about granting access. Each new seller on Amazon has a number of restrictions on the ability to sell, by category, by type of product, by brand, by the degree of danger of the product. Based on the above, it is advisable for sellers, especially beginning non-US residents who do not have high ratings, to start working on Amazon in the categories with minimal restrictions from Amazon. One such category is the industrial and scientific category. Let's select the subcategory food service equipment and supplies. Amazon filters have appeared on the left side of the page, and now we have to think about how they can benefit us.
Выберем подкатегорию Food Service Equipment and Supplies. С левой стороны страницы появились фильтры Amazon, и теперь мы должны подумать, какую пользу они могут нам принести.
These filters are initially targeted at the Amazon buyer, not the Amazon seller, and therefore we have limited scope for their useful use. In order to answer ourselves to the question, which of the existing ones we want to use at this stage, we must ask another question: what is the goal we set ourselves at this stage? I would formulate our goal at this point as identifying loyal brands in relation to our account, whose products are placed in this subsection. At this stage, we do not take into account our product search criteria, but simply identify loyal brands. However, in order to identify loyal brands, we must somehow get a list of all the brands that are presented in this subsection. In order to be able to check them for loyalty, we first determine how many products are placed in this subsection. At the same time, we will add listings to the view, which currently do not have live offers from other sellers. We activate the function of the interface include out of stock, which is located at the bottom of the filter list. We will see the approximate number of listings in this subcategory only when one of the filters is activated.
Приблизительное количество листингов под категорией мы увидим только при активации какого-то из фильтров.
In the upper left corner of the sheet, just above the filter column, we see the approximate number of ads in this subcategory. That's over 60,000 results.
Более 60 тысяч результатов.
We know that Amazon only shows the first 400 pages of the product catalog to the customer, with 24 products on each page. This will amount to 9,600 listings. In order to identify all the brands that are present in this subcategory, we need to break these 60,000 listings into sectors, 10,000 units each. And we can do this by manipulating the filter of the price range of products. We sequentially select such ranges of product prices in order to divide the array of listings into groups of about 10,000 each.
Последовательно подбором выставляем такие диапазоны цен, чтобы разделить массив листингов на группы примерно по 10 тысяч в каждой.
Now it doesn't matter to us how many ranges we get. We will explore all of them. These are the sections we should get.
Вот такие разделы у нас должны получиться.
Etc. Thus, we got HTTP links to segments of the subcategory we investigated, which contain up to 10,000 ASINs. We will now turn these HTTP links into an ASIN text list. I do this using an older version of ASIN Spotlight. There is an old version on the net, and it is inexpensive.
В сети в продаже присутствует старая версия, стоит недорого.
But you can use any software that does this.
Любое программное обеспечение, которое осуществляет подобные действия.
To get the ASIN list, we copy and sequentially load into the ASIN Spotlight input line all HTTP links for each conditional segment of our subcategory.
Нашей подкатегории.
ASIN Spotlight processes up to 10,000 ASINs per download.
Asin Spotlight обрабатывает за одну загрузку до 10 тысяч осинов.
We open the maximum number of channels, but since this is an old version of the program, which is no longer supported, the number of channels is probably reduced. But this is not very important for us, because we will focus only on the first operation of allocating the ASIN list. This happens pretty quickly.
Что происходит довольно быстро.
The ASIN Spotlight program was able to download raw data for us on the 8656 ASIN.
На 8656 осин.
We will now export this data as a list in TXT format. ASIN only.
Только осины.
After the ASIN list is obtained, we, using the Keepa program, turn it into an Excel table. The table will contain other product data that we will need in the future. In the Keepa program, go to the Date section, select the Product Viewer subsection and select the line for loading text files.
Выбираем подраздел Product Viewer и заходим в строку для загрузки текстовых файлов.
Select the TXT file and load the data.
Выбираем наш файл. И загружаем данные.
We are doing this in order for the Keepa program to pull up brand names to the ASIN list. The Keepa program, according to our ASIN list, in accordance with the configured attributes, downloaded the data. Now we can generate and export an Excel spreadsheet. We tick off the functions, all active columns, and, in the form of an Excel table. As a result, we get such a table.
И в виде таблицы Excel. В итоге мы получаем такую таблицу.
Keepa has downloaded the data according to the settings that were made earlier. In this case, at this stage, we are only interested in the columns that contain information about the brands that match the ASINs from the list.
Информацию о брендах, которые соответствуют Asin.
We can remove unnecessary columns that we are not interested in at the moment.
Мы можем удалить лишние столбцы, которые нас не интересуют в данный момент.
Next, we will do the following manipulation.
Теперь проделаем следующую манипуляцию.
We will go to the Data section of Excel and sort our brands alphabetically from A to Z. We get the following table view.
Наши бренды по алфавиту. От A к Z. И получим следующий вид таблицы.
We now see a list of brands sorted alphabetically, combined with ASIN, that belong to that brand.
В сочетании с осинами, которые соответствуют этому бренду и этому осину.
Let's analyze the obtained result.
Проанализировать полученный результат.
Brands that are represented by a single or a small number of ASINs are most likely private label products.
Asin с большой вероятностью являются продуктами private label.
We may not research them for loyalty to our account at all, or postpone this research for a more appropriate time. We will identify loyal brands as follows. We select one of the ASINs of the brand that is represented by many products and open the products we have selected in the Amazon interface.
И открываем выбранный нами продукт в интерфейсе Amazon.
With the help of the Google extension, the Funnel Guru Amazon ASIN Checker, or AMZ Online Arbitrage, Multi-Tool, or other similar, we will see the presence or absence of restrictions on our account for this ASIN of this brand.
При помощи расширения Google в funnel GUR Amazon Asin Checker или AMZ Online Arbitrage Multitool или другого подобного, мы мгновенно увидим наличие или отсутствие ограничений нашего аккаунта по данному Asin этого бренда.
At this stage of research, we are not interested in other types of restrictions on our account, such as closed category, brand transparency, prohibited product, or dangerous product.
Или опасный продукт.
If we see that there is a restriction on the sale of this brand, we can delete all rows with this brand from our table and move on until a brand is found that does not restrict us and we can sell products placed under this brand.
И мы можем продавать товары, размещенные под этим брендом.
We see a brand loyal to our account and now it's time to explore this brand more deeply.
И теперь пришло время изучить этот бренд глубже.
Let's open it in Keepa, in the Date section, select the Product Viewer subsection, the line for loading ASIN, and in Keepa we will expand the entire list of products of this brand.
Открытие через Asin. И в Keepa развернем весь список продуктов этого бренда.
We now see its full presence on Amazon. Let's check it for signs of compliance with Private Label. Let's see its attitude to third-party sellers on other listings. I would like to remind you that the main features of Private Label are relatively limited number, usually no more than a few dozen ASINs under the brand. The number of sellers, systematically, no more than from 1 to 3. The presence of repeated deletions of third-party sellers in the schedule of new offers in Keepa of up to 3 or fewer sellers within a few days. The presence of a niche store, the presence of a business card site, as well as lack of a legal wholesale supplier of a branded product.
Трех продавцов в течение нескольких дней. Наличие нишевого магазина, наличие сайта визитки. А также отсутствие оптового поставщика этого продукта в доступе.
We add all the identified private labels to our list of prohibited brands. But exceptions are possible here.
Но тут возможны исключения.
There are many private labels that, for various reasons, are loyal to third-party sellers and allow them to sell on their listings for extended periods of time. I would not recommend using such listings in an online arbitrage strategy. However, they can potentially be applied to a dropshipping strategy. Let's go back to researching the current brand. Sort the column, number of FBA sellers, in descending order. We see that the maximum number of FBA sellers in this brand does not exceed 2. Let's see brand loyalty to FBM sellers.
Видим, что максимальное количество продавцов FBA в этом бренде не превышает 2. Посмотрим лояльность бренда к продавцам FBM.
We see a similar picture. Most likely, this is the private label online store on Amazon. There is no loyalty to third-party sellers. We continue our search further.
Private label интернет-магазин на Amazon. Лояльность к сторонним продавцам крайне низкая. Продолжаем поиск дальше.
Here we see the same picture on brand. And here it is similar.
Link. И тут аналогично.
There is no restriction on the America Metal Craft brand. We load the ASIN of this product into Keepa through the Date section, Product Viewer subsection and the ASIN input line, expanding the entire brand.
Через Date, Product Viewer, загрузка Asin. Разворачиваем весь бренд.
We sort the column, New Offer from FBA sellers, from higher to lower, and see that the number of third-party sellers of this brand is sufficient to consider it loyal to third-party sellers.
И видим, что количество продавцов этого бренда, сторонних продавцов этого бренда, достаточное для того, чтобы считать его лояльным к сторонним продавцам.
Now it makes sense to filter the products of this brand according to our criteria. The first thing we need to do is remove listings that have current offers from Amazon. The next step is to remove listings that do not have a buy box.
Мы должны отделить листинги, которые имеют текущее предложение от Amazon. Следующим действием мы отделяем листинги, которые удаляем листинги, которые не имеют buy box.
We can also immediately restrict competition in buy box. Let's determine the number of FBA sellers as less than or equal to 6. Also, we will set the lower price bar for boxing more than $15.
Допустим, определим количество продавцов меньше или равно 6. Также установим нижнюю планку цены байбокса. Более или равно 15.
Now let's move on to limiting the minimum amount of sales. Here we can go in two ways. We can set the number of potential sales, the number of falls in the BSR chart, equal to or more than 20, or set the BSR level to no more than 120,000.
Тут мы можем идти двумя путями. Установить количество продаж потенциальных равно или более 20. Или зайти с другой стороны, установить минимальный уровень байбокс. Допустим, 120 тысяч.
This is how we got a list of products that meet our criteria. Further, we also process all the brands of the section. We make a pivot table of potential products and search for suppliers either manually or using automation tools. For example, using the reverse function in the tactical arbitrage program.
Подобным образом обрабатываем все бренды раздела, делаем сводную таблицу из потенциально пригодных продуктов и производим поиск или вручную, или при помощи какой-то автоматизации, допустим, при помощи функции реверс в тактикал арбитраже.